right. And second of all, what is a teacher? I mean, it's Jewish brainwashing center at this point in time, right? And so, right there, what are they going to teach you at this school, man? To kill Arabs, to genocide Germans, to strike Syria, to kill the Russians, to kill the Koreans, to hate China. Yeah, I mean, one of the things I remember the most at school is them like celebrating and stuff like that. And I mean, if you're smart, you go to school, and you're smart. You're already smart. You don't need school. And if you're not interested in that stuff, you go to school and you don't pay attention to it. It's a waste of time. And so it's just mainly like a government daycare, a government propagandizing center so the moms can stay at home, as I've said before, and be propagandized by the TV without the kids in the way. Because, I mean, if you had to raise your kid rather than neglect it and send it to public school, then you wouldn't have time to watch TV and be propagandized all day, and that's no good for the government. So the woman might actually learn something at some point. So I'm not going to focus on this anymore. I'm just showing you. That's who it is. Jewish women's archives. They're bragging. As if the face didn't give it away. As if the name Weingarten didn't give it away. As if the motherland, the Jewish motherland of New York, didn't give it away. That's worse than saying Israel. If someone says they're from Israel, you're never going to assume that someone from Israel is not a Jew, even though they have a smaller Jewish population there than they do over there in New York. So never assume anyone from New York is not a Jew. But as you can see, right again, I'm bringing this all forward. We're going to move on to what this is about. This is about the American, what is that called? Sorry. American Federation of Teachers. Yeah, she had to leave one group and go to another. So there's more of these, and when in doubt, it's the same people running them. American Federation of Teachers throws down gauntlet to Wells Fargo over gun support. Teachers Union will withdraw Wells Fargo mortgage from benefits program if bank continues to do business with NRA and gun manufacturers. So basically, Wells Fargo is the bank that these people use. They just, some of them use it. You know, it's probably not the bank. They probably have several banks. I'm nobody, and I can have more than one bank. And it's probably way more profitable for them to play back and forth between multiple banks. So their plan is just to tell eventually all banks to not have gun rights because they're scared of the gun rights, because the guns are legal for killing invaders who took over the nation. And it's exactly when the Brits came, we killed them, sent them home, and we ended their empire. Isn't that odd? Isn't that odd? We, just like if these people come, they invade, if we kill them, send them home to hell, then we end their empire, and that's it. We've got a kind of history of this stuff. So that's why they don't want the guns, and they want to hit, they're eventually going to hit all banks. It's got nothing to do with Wells Fargo, and who knows if he's going back down. They keep trying to blab to him. I mean, they're wasting his time. He's a man with a job who's got probably a family to feed and all that, and this Jewess is just wasting his life. She should be charged for like every second of his life, like $1,000 of money. That has to be paid from their own family's bank account, not to governments or not some, the Federal Reserve. Take it from Israel shekels, someone in Israel, and give it to this guy. He should, Tim Sloan, Wells Fargo CEO, should get $1,000 a second of this woman's time that's been wasted. And you know what? As a matter of fact, I'm saying, you guys ever put me in office, I will pursue this type of thing. He will get reimbursed for his life wasted, that he can never retrieve any of that life back from this invading parasite. Okay, so if Sloan continues the bank's arms business, who's the bank's arms business now? The ATF will dump its popular Wells Fargo mortgage program offered to members. So basically, the Jew is trying to say they're going to dump mortgages. And I mean, they're not saying that right there, but you know how they think. This is about how, in her mind, she probably has one of these mortgages, and she's probably trying to figure out how to quit using it so she can get some more crack cocaine money to stuff up her fucking spaceship-sized nose. Other leading companies, including Dick's Sporting Goods, REI, and LL Bean, have acted to protect kids and educators in the wake of Parkland massacre. But Wells Fargo continues to bankroll them. Oh, that's pretty odd that Dick's Sporting Goods would do this, because how many of you have been to Dick's Sporting Goods? I've been there, and like, have you ever been to where people play sports? It's not these fucking pussyfoot liberals. They can't play no sports. The fuck? The only type of people going to a sports store is people who are somewhat Republican-minded. You know, I don't consider myself either, but I've been to Dick's, and I definitely don't consider myself like a libtard. So, and if I was, you know, I'd be like sitting around singing Kumbaya and playing some acoustic guitar and being like, oh man, I don't want to play sports, man. It's so evil, man. You like hit the ball. What about the ball's feelings? It's racist against balls, man. Racist against bats too. You pit the bat and the ball versus one each other. Oh God, it's a hate crime. So that's so stupid that Dick's is getting rid of that, right? Because that's like their only people. Like, I've got no reason to go back there. Not that I did in the first place, because you're so overpriced, Dick's, you need to go out of business. Every time I go there, no one's in there. Well, there's like 10 people in there in this huge fancy store. But that's probably because those 10 people, the 9 other people actually buy stuff, can, with your super price markups, can actually keep you afloat. But hopefully not for too much longer, because you just alienated every single sports player in the world by being anti-gun. But that's what this is about. So they're calling to get rid of this. And I mean, they're just calling to get rid of guns, period. They're scared of the guns because they're scared people, because what they do over and over again in all the nations, 120 plus they've been kicked out of, Germany, everywhere, they're scared that they're going to lose everything. And they need to, like in the Bolshevik slaughter, they need to keep their slaves disarmed, because it would be a massacre if they tried to do anything to the slaves before disarming them. So this, if you want to read this, you can go read it. You know, this is from the AFT, you know, throws down gauntlet. So it's pro them. It's just going to brainwash you if you're reading it. And you can read the initial letter here, and Sloan's response here, and ATF's response to that response, blah, blah, blah. Just, you know, it's going to be the same thing it always is every time, until someone calls them out as the Jews they are. Let's move on. Why is the American Federation of Teachers promoting Israel apartheid? So, as usual, we've got the gun-grabbing aliens coming after the humans on all levels. They want to erase the humans from all nations on earth so they can enslave them, they brag. And this is always how it is. Like Wasserman Schultz, she's anti-gun, she's anti-white people, but she's she says Jews should only marry Jews. And she's not saying the religion, she's saying people who look like her. People who look like this should marry people who look like that.